are here at the Anka Square, the United Nations Correspondent Association. And we have a very, very special guest.
Gentlemen, the Security Council plenary meeting has adjourned. The Council will move into the consultation.
From the Security Council want to come to see probably Yoani, that's why he's a thing.
Cuban ambassador.
And the Cuban ambassador is not part of the Security Council yet. Again, we have a special guest, Yoani Sánchez. We, professionals of the media, we all know her. So the presentation of her, also just to leave the words to her, it will be very, very short. She's, I think, I mean, I'm from Italy. I present myself again. My name is Stefano Vaccara. Many of you knows me. I am one of the editors of the Italian language daily newspaper New York, America Oggi, a correspondent also from the United Nations for Radio Radicale Rome. Yoani is probably, at least for Europe, and I believe also here in America, North America, one of the most, I would say the most known bloggers in the world, because she blogs from Cuba. And blogging from Cuba is not like blogging from New York, Rome, or probably not even the Middle East. It's very hard to blog. And she, every time you read, all of you, one of her posts, you must understand that it's not something that was easy to do. Just, write and then push a button on your computer, and that's it. And we all can read it. She had to go through a lot of, I would call it, imagination. She was very smart to be able to pretend to be sometimes a German tourist, I believe, and sneak in hotels, connect with a computer, and be able to send some email out, and then somebody else, maybe in Mexico, maybe in Italy, maybe in France, who knows, was able then to post in a blog, a Generation Y, we all know Generazione Y, we would say in Italian. There is in all languages. You can read it if your language is not English, it's not Italian, it's not French. Guess what? You will find a language that's good for you. I really wanted to present her because I happen to be, I'm not only a journalist, I happen to be also a teacher. I have the honor to teach a class at Lehman College of the City University of New York. The title is Media and Democracy, from Citizen Kane to WikiLeaks. And I've been teaching this class since 2009. And my students, college students, they came also here. On the end of the course, they have to do a research. And they have to do a paper. And each one has a country that is assigned. And many of them, they are the colleges in the Bronx. And many are Hispanic, Latino Americans. And many they choose country like Venezuela. They use country like Chile, Brazil. But the most of them, they use Cuba. And those papers is where, I mean, I was reading you in the newspaper La Stampa from Torino. The editor-in-chief, Mario Calabrese, is a friend of mine. I know how smart it is to put your blog always very noticeable. But when I read the papers of my students talking about not only her, about other journalists in Cuba, they risk every day their life to do what Eleanor Roosevelt, the First Lady of the United States, wife of one of the greatest presidents of this country. Eleanor Roosevelt was the one that wanted the fought for Article 19, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And when she did that, and that passed in 1948, in 1948, internet, we didn't know even, I mean, we didn't even have idea that you could communicate like this. I'm just going to read you Article 19. We all know Article 19, but just for, it's very short, but it's very effective. But that's Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interferences and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. Those words were written in 1948, and I think had the vision for today's time. And with this, I give the word to Yoani. Thank you very much to be with us today.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias. Buenas tardes por estar aquí.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate being here.
Me siento extremadamente honrada de que mi primera vez en este edificio tan significativo de Naciones Unidas sea precisamente con mis colegas, los corresponsales de prensa de Naciones Unidas. Eso lo valoro mucho porque precisamente hoy vengo a hablar especialmente de la falta de libertad de expresión y de la falta de libertad para acceder a la información que padecemos los cubanos. Vengo de un país donde no solamente está penalizada la discrepancia, sino que también vengo de un país donde la opinión crítica es considerada prácticamente una traición. Vengo de un país donde una persona por escribir un blog, por poner en el ciberespacio sus opiniones, puede ser víctima de vigilancia policial, arrestos, detenciones arbitrarias, prisión, estigmatización social, difamación mediática en los medios oficiales, e incluso esa persona puede ser restringida su libertad de movimiento. Por el simple hecho, repito, de poner sus opiniones en un blog en internet. Vengo de un país donde el gobierno, el partido en el poder, ha tenido un férreo monopolio sobre la información durante décadas. Un país donde la prensa es considerada una herramienta ideológica de adoctrinamiento y no un medio para enterarse de la realidad. Un gobierno, además, que ha sido muy hábil en exportar una ilusión, una idea triunfalista de Cuba. La exportación de un mito ha sido uno de los pocos hechos logrados por el sistema cubano, ¿no? También el gobierno cubano ha sido muy eficiente en desplazar las voces plurales de espacios como este. Han logrado con mucha efectividad en estos últimos años desplazar de lugares como Naciones Unidas a las voces críticas dentro de Cuba.
They have achieved the power of displacing voices like ours from a place like the United Nations with the power of the Cuban government.
Así que vengo de un país donde el gobierno, el partido, el hombre en el poder quieren hacerse pasar por la nación.
So I come from a country where the people, the man, the group in power wants to take the image of a nation.
Hablar en nombre de la nación.
To speak in the name of the nation.
Y quienes no estén de acuerdo con ese gobierno, ese partido, ese hombre en el poder, son considerados, cuando menos, como apátridas.
And those who do not agree with this man in government, with this type of regime, are considered more or less like stateless people.
Creo que los ejemplos sobran.
I think that we have too many examples.
El tratamiento, por ejemplo, que reciben las damas de blanco,
The treatment for the ladies in white
un grupo femenino y pacífico que ha luchado durante años
that have been struggling for years
por el restablecimiento y el respeto de los derechos humanos en Cuba,
for the establishment of the human rights in Cuba.
los actos de repudio que sufren,
They suffer several acts of repudiation,
el hostigamiento policial,
the police harassment,
las vejaciones en los medios nacionales,
insults in national press.
son algunos de los ejemplos de a qué están sometidos los activistas en Cuba.